Hey everyone, RJ here. Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm giving my final review of the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. Now I got this phone at release last year. I pre-ordered it and got this nice platinum titanium color, and it looks really good. It's held up very well. I kept it in a case the whole time that I had it pretty much. The carbon fiber look up here at the camera area to me just really set this color off, and it looks really good. Now, when you look at this phone here versus the S22 Ultra, you know, the camera array back here, it's the same. You know, the only thing that they done was just remove this area right here, you know, and it's just, you know, 5 separate camera lenses there. But the S21 Ultra, you know, my thoughts on it over the past year. Now, the phone right now is powered off because I've done a trade-in program for the S22 Ultra. So this phone has to be sent back into Samsung. However, you know, so it's fully factory reset and everything, so the phone's off. This phone's held up very well over the past year, okay? There's no such thing as a perfect phone, but I would have to say this one was the closest that you can get, okay? This thing done everything and done everything well, okay? The cameras were great. If I had to give it one con, it would be the shutter lag, which is just a well-known fact for Samsung phones. They could fix that issue, then man, but it has shutter lag, which got annoying at times. That's the only thing about it I can say negative, okay? The build quality is excellent. The looks, it just looks amazing. Feels very premium, very durable. Stereo speakers. It had, of course, the 888 Qualcomm Snapdragon processor, 12 gigabytes of RAM. Storage configurations went from 128, I think, to 1 terabyte. And this phone, honestly, right now, new, still sells for not far off from what I paid for it a year later. You know, if you might can get them on special deals on contracts and stuff like that, but it's still going for a pretty penny. You know, I mean, prices may drop here eventually, or you can get a renewed one or refurbished one or whatever. But of course, always be wary of those because you never know what you're going to get. But if you want to buy this phone new, it's still going to cost you a pretty penny. But my experience over the past year, now I didn't do many videos on this phone, or hardly any of this phone, throughout the year that I had it. Intended to, but just never got around to it, to be honest with you. But this was my phone of 2021, phone of the year, in my personal opinion. I mean, it was a very enjoyable experience. The screen was beautiful, quad HD display. I mean, the screen was just beautiful on this phone. The stereo speakers sounded really good. The battery life was okay. I wouldn't say it was the best, and I kind of blame that on the Snapdragon 888 processor. It did heat up a lot. It did get really, really hot at times. But a lot of times that has to do with the processor that's in the phone. And to my opinion, the 888 just was not a great processor for keeping your phone cool or for sipping battery. Battery life was just okay with this phone, but you know, it's, you know, had a 120 Hz display and it done everything. Okay, and they may be asking, should I upgrade from the S21 Ultra to the S22 Ultra? And unless you just want an S Pen, then I would say no. Okay. You know, there's been plenty of times that I've had buyer's remorse upgrading from this phone to the S22 Ultra, just because honestly, after using it, the S22 Ultra, I've not really seen any difference. There's really no difference in performance. There's battery life seems to be about, you know, well, that's a whole different ballgame. We'll get into that later with the S22 Ultra videos. But when it comes to the phones itself and the performance, going from the 888 with 12 gigabytes of RAM to the 8 Gen 1 with the same 12 gigabytes of RAM, I'm really not seeing any difference in performance. Camera quality so far, I mean, the few pictures I've taken, I've not really seen that much of a difference. The quality of the displays, the speakers do sound a little bit better on the S21 Ultra than the S22 Ultra, but it's not like, of course, like mind-blowingly different, nothing like that. But I've not really seen that much of a difference between the two devices. And if you got the S21 Ultra right now and debating on upgrading, I would say hold on to this phone another year or two, honestly, if it's still doing good for you, because, you know, there's just not much of an upgrade from the last year's model to this year's model. Like I said, unless you just want an S Pen, and that's just you like the Note series and all like that, but paying that kind of money, for a slight upgrade with an S Pen, to me just is not really worth it unless it's just something that you gotta have. But the phone's about the same size. They feel the same. They both feel extremely premium. Like I said, I do love this exclusive color here. Only if it would have been like kind of like a really nice formula type red with that black carbon fiber look right there, that would have like set the whole phone off, in my personal opinion. But this looks very professional. Just platinum titanium. And just the way it's set up. I mean, this is a very professional phone. It is a very high-end phone, and it is a very capable and reliable phone. It worked. I mean, it was near perfect. And there's not much to say about it, to be honest. I know that reviews go into this, that, and the other, but this phone has been reset, fixed to be sent back to Samsung. So I really want to make this little video here saying farewell to it. Had it for a year. It's been a great phone, and you can't go wrong if you still want to buy last year's model of the S20 of the Ultra model of the S21. It's still a great deal. It's going to get updates for a couple more years, but this is a great phone. It's held up. Like I said, it's held up very well. It's been in a case since I've had it, and it's held up very well. It's got one little nick over here in the side but that's just from the case right there. That's it. A case rubbed it. But other than that, the phone is in flawless condition. And man, it's been a great phone, a great experience. And as much of and most of y'all know, okay, that I'm not a Samsung fan. Most of y'all know that I could care less about Samsung, because of all of their practices and all the bullcrap. Selling a phone for this kind of price, making you buy a charging brick for $50 is just ridiculous. But when a phone's good, you have to give credit where credit's due, and that is where this here shines, because this thing right here is a phenomenal phone. Never had any issues whatsoever, and it was just a great experience all the way around. So there's not much else to say about this phone, other than the fact that if you don't want to buy the latest S22 Ultra, I would still highly, highly recommend this phone right here. You're not going to be missing out much going from this model to the S22 Ultra. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that right now. That's just my personal opinion. This is still a very good phone, and it will still be a good phone 2 years from now. So that's just my little video that I wanted to make about this phone here before I let it go. I hate to see it go. I really do. It's been a good phone. So anyway, so if you have any questions about this phone or anything else, leave it down in the comments down below. If you're new around here and haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing and clicking that bell on for all notifications. I will be having updated videos for the S22 Ultra, and as my time goes along with that, with battery life and everything else that goes along with it. So be sure to stay tuned for all of that. Y'all have a good one, and thanks for watching.